And events from the Joy Sports team. Also, some local football news as well as some international ones as well. And of course, there's Wimbledon to ponder over day 2. First of all, it's yet another year for the Joy Sports Invitational, the banking edition. The First Atlantic Bank are the first institution we profile, and they are determined to defend the cup in the upcoming second edition.
Ashu, 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 Shu, Shu, Peru. Shu, Peru. Hey! 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 We are First Atlantic Bank. Atlantic Stars.
Yes.
Yeah, no. We won the maiden edition.
Thank you.
We did not talk much.
Kasa.
Last year we told them.
Kasa.
Too much talk, no, they fill basket.
Yes.
We do our talking on the field.
Yes.
Look, when you have the likes of the likes of Clifford, Carries, Samuel, look, we have nothing to fear, and we have nothing to prove. Do we have anything to prove? We have nothing to prove. We have nothing to prove. They have something to prove. We are just waiting for them. They should just bring it on, and we'll teach them a little lesson. Hey! Hey! Ashu, shu, shu, ashu, shu, shu, Peru. Shu, Peru. Atlantic. Atlantic. Hey!
This is all the noise you can make, seriously?
Like I mentioned, we do not make too much noise. I mean, too much talking does not fill the basket. Okay. It's all about doing the talking on the field. Okay. Last year, George was here. I told George, look, just put us to the test. We are going to prove to you. Just invite all the banks. We are going to do our talking on the field. All the banks that made so much noise ended up losing. But we remained the victors. Hey!
Hey! Easy, oh. Easy. Amae. Easy. Amae. Easy. FAB, no size. Oh. Watch out for Gilipolo. Mohamed Polo, the living magician of FAB.
Yeah, man.
I'll do the best that Messi does on the field.
Messi.
Right.
FAB Messi.
No size.
Lionel Andres Messi.
Hey! Atlantic. Show him the trophy.
Hey!
It's not only football.
Like you can see, this is a beautiful cup. We've kept it for 1 year, and we're coming for more.
Yes.
In fact, already we failed to mention the formation that we'll be coming with.
I don't think you need to reveal to them.
Okay, that's fine. I think we've said it all. We're just waiting for the other banks to meet us. The game is on the field and not by mouth. So, hey!
All right.
That's the trophy.
We are going to win it back to back, like Real Madrid. They won the Champions League back to back. We are going to repeat it. Yes, we'll replicate it in the banking industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's run a rule over the news that is making the rounds today. Tammy Abraham has signed for Chelsea. Gifted youngster. He was at the Under-21 European Championships. He signed for Chelsea but was loaned immediately to Swansea City. And we'll look at the completion of the deal for Alexander Lacazette. He is finalizing a move from Lyon to Arsenal. I'm glad to say that joining me from the UK is our transfer football expert and football journalist, Seb Stafford-Bloor. Thank you very much for your time, Seb.
No, a pleasure. Thanks, Gary.
Good. So you have personally seen Tammy Abraham play because you were at the European Championships in Poland only last week and a couple of weeks ago. What player are Chelsea getting in Tammy?
Well, an unrefined one at the moment, someone with a huge upside potentially, but a player who will likely play as a target man, but who has great technique, great sort of sense of positioning inside the 6-yard box. He had an excellent goal scoring record back in the Championship last season when he was on loan with Bristol City. Just a young player with a huge upside potentially.
Good. So he's now signed for Chelsea, but immediately loaned to Swansea. How does he improve the Swansea side of last season?
I think primarily, Gary, it's a question of depth. Last season, Swansea were very reliant on Fernando Llorente. And I suppose the advantage here is that they're both tall forwards. They're not identical stylistically. Abraham is a little bit more technical on the floor. But I mean, Llorente is injured at the moment. So if Abraham has to come in, it won't involve too much of an adjustment around him. Last season, Swansea was stuck with Boya Baston, who was a huge transfer bust, obviously. And Jordan Ayew's not really a proper centre forward. He's more of a sort of a supporting forward, so he couldn't really do the same role as Llorente. Didn't offer the same threat in the air, or have any real similarities.
There's also the move that everybody has been talking about today. It's like a soap opera. Every single move in the transfer of Alexandre Lacazette from Lyon has been chronicled. In the last 20 minutes, we hear that his medical is done and the paperwork is being completed. What have Arsenal got?
A seasoned European goal scorer. I think some people will say that Arsenal should have focused on someone like Kylian Mbappe from Monaco. But Lacazette has proved his pedigree over many years. He's just had his best goal-scoring return in Ligue 1. He only finished second in the goal-scoring charts to Edison Cavani. Just a very pure forward. Arguably the player Arsenal have needed for a really long time as well. That authentic number 9. And someone who should work really well with Mesut Ozil, and if he stays out, Alexis Sanchez. That's a big if, though, apparently.
Yeah. So quickly, run the rule for us. What other transfer news have we missed today?
Well, there's some gathering rumors about Antonio Rudiger moving to Chelsea for just under £35 million. I think the feeling there is that although Chelsea defended extremely well last season, that was mainly because of their midfield and N'Golo Kante, and they could probably make an improvement around David Luiz in that area. Manchester United supposedly edging painfully slowly towards Alvaro Morata. Reports out of England suggest that should be done by the end of the week. The fee seems to go up by £5 million every time it gets reported, though. So we're still not sure about that one.
Okay, Seb.
Sure. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We don't have a lot of time, but we'll be calling you to do some more transfer news. Seb Stafford-Bloor is a football journalist and writes for, among others, the UK's biggest football publication, the 442. You can get more transfer news on myjoyonline.com. And don't forget that every Saturday we have our show dedicated to football transfers on Joy FM. It's called On The Move, and I am on the move. I'm Gary House Smith.